Joining Martha and I today is Joyce Shellhammer, a good friend of mine for many years, and a new pastor in town, basically. Pastor
Keith Nitschke.
Keith Nitschke, who is with is it United
First United Church of Christ.
Which he took over for you.
Yeah.
They sort of swap positions.
Oh.
He's now the pastor.
I'm not his assistant, but he lets me stay because he feels sorry for me.
The official title.
Well,
she
you
has
were
is
the
associate.
pastor and you were the assistant.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now you're the pastor and
She's the
She's
associate.
just like
says
my
she's not,
son.
but I think
Oh,
she
boy.
is.
Just like my son,
Oh.
only he's different than my son. He listens to me.
He doesn't talk back, yeah.
Now, Joyce, are you semi-retired then? Is that what you're saying?
I'm retired.
Retired.
That's why I'm here. They just propped me up.
I thought you'd work till you're 90 years old. Like
Yeah.
you decided you wanted out. Huh?
Well, I just felt Keith was my assistant, and I don't know. I just felt like the Lord was telling me, "Okay, girl, step aside." And Keith has I was so proud of him. He's done such a wonderful job, and the congregation loves him, and he's a real people person. And you know, he could have said, "Well, no, we're not doing this year," you know, but he got right on the wagon and is helping us. Keith, tell us what you're doing that I would never do.
Well, part of the blood drive, they have.
Well, you're here to talk about the Katie Whitman blood
Yes.
drive.
That's what
Let's
it
start
is.
over
Oh.
on March
Yeah.
21st. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Tell
I'm
what
sorry.
I'm doing with the blood drive.
Yeah.
Before you do that, tell us, Keith, where you're from,
Oh,
and
okay.
how long you've been here, and that sort of stuff.
From Albion, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
And then
Okay.
I was serving, or I did an internship at the Federated Church in East Springfield, and then word got to Pastor Ed that the church was looking for, someone to help fill in with Pastor Joyce. So I applied to the position, and they had to open that up, and then after I interviewed, then they told me I got the job last year. So
Do you live in town, or you still live in Albion?
No, I live in Albion. I commute into town.
Do you?
Yeah.
You have
I
family?
had to teach him about the Browns and everything.
Oh yeah, you gotta be a Browns fan.
Yeah, I bought my first Cleveland Browns T-shirt.
Did you really?
Yep.
You fit in then.
That's good.
Do you have family in Albion?
My mom grew up in West Cherry Hill, but if you remember the Electric Maid Bakery, when my grandparents used to run that, Wilbur and Dorothy Brown.
Sure, I knew Wilbur very well.
So I grew up in the back of the. Bakery there. So
Oh boy.
I
You're probably too young to remember this, but do you remember the Albion tornadoes?
we didn't live in Albion then. I grew up between Mill Village and Union City, but I do remember that.
Oh, that was national publicity.
There were like 3 different sets of tornadoes.
Absolutely, kind of.
Yeah, some hit Albion, some hit out by Union City that day, and then down by Titusville too.
They started actually, I think, in Pierpont.
Right.
Yeah, and
They came right across.
Oh, I remember that day.
It was in the 80s, wasn't it?
85, 1985. So it's been 30 years.
It was neat at the time. The house I bought is right across the street from my uncle's parents' house, and he owned a shoe shop in Albion, and my dad was helping clean up there and stuff. And then who would have known, all these years later, that I would buy the house right across the street. And then I met the lady that lived in my house, and she gave me all the Albion tornado history, all the pictures of my house and everything.
I mean,
So
it was horrible.
it was bad.
Yeah, it was really bad. What Joyce and Pastor hear about today is the Katie Whitman blood drive, which I think is fantastic that Katie's name continues on. Is the church more or less taking this over, Joyce?
We're not taking it over. We're just, what would we call us? We're just kind of an organization that helps out. We have a program at our church called Christians in Action. Keith, maybe you want to tell a little bit about that.
Yeah, Christians in Action actually is with our church, and last year Joyce thought it would be a good community project for our church to be involved with, and then so we got on board. Last year we just kind of supported them. They were very well organized, and our church provided cookies and everything. But this year we took a more active role in
Thanks to Keith. Yeah.
trying to get the word out, and working with Pastor Joyce's son and daughter, and then Gene Whitman and all the people
Gail
who are
Castrilla's back on.
yes, and Gail.
Okay. She's coming on the show here in a couple of weeks.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So, for those folks that might not be aware of this, Katie Whitman, beautiful young lady.
Do you remember her?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. She worked at Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And after she got off work one evening, she was driving to her grandma's house, I think, on Lake Road, who was my neighbor. And she was in a very bad accident there and lost her life. This, believe it or not, happened December 2002. So it's been 13 years.
Yeah.
She's been gone. I can't believe it. She was such a nice girl.
She, I guess, the car got on black ice.
Yep.
So all of us be careful today because it's that kind of a
It
day.
sure is. It sure is. And way back when I first started talking about this, I was still at the newspaper, but I think I worked part-time at the radio station too, and I dealt with a young lady by the name of, was it Shara?
Parker Mackey.
Parker. And
Who's her cousin.
she was a cousin, and carried the ball for quite a while. Then there was a time when they were going to not have this blood drive, and it was becoming kind of a tough thing to have. But luckily, it's brought a lot of blood donors out, and people have taken advantage of it, and all in the name of Katie. And the blood drive this year is going to be March 21st, which is just around the corner.
Right.
You know?
And I want to plug the Conneaut Human Resource Center too, because they're allowing us to hold it there, and because it's the biggest facility in Conneaut that we have. And last year I was on before the blood drive, but in all honesty, I had never given blood. I had never shown up at a blood drive. I really didn't know anything about a blood drive. So at age 70, and Martha was there at my side, weren't you, Martha? I gave my first pint of blood. And I can tell you, if you're a chicken like I am, and don't want to have any needles or anything like that, it was easy. They take wonderful care of you. And I didn't feel any different, maybe a little tired, but not all, I'm tired all the time, Pat, so I couldn't tell that tired from some other tired.
Did you have orange juice afterwards?
Yes.
They usually give you orange
But
juice.
I do want to thank all the corporate sponsors too, because Dairy Queen, the pizza shops, they're all putting little flyers in their bags and in their pizza boxes to remind people. And
That's neat. That is really nice.
yeah, it's so nice. And our fraternal, policemen and firemen have been helping us. Our church, I have to plug our church, right, Keith? They, ladies of our church baked about 1 million cookies last year, and we have Connie Jury and Sue Squigunzi taking care of the kitchen. They do an outstanding job. But I think what impressed me the most last year, and I didn't know if you had been to other blood drives, but to see how those, I think the word is phlebotomists, who take the blood.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a organized, well done, they get you in. And when I walked in, I was so amazed to see so many people, Pat, sitting there waiting. I mean, there must have been 3 rows of people waiting to give blood, and some of them have given pints and quarts and I think even gallons over the years.
Sure.
So it's a weren't you impressed, Martha, last
Oh yeah,
year?
but I've covered it before.
Oh, and I
I'm
never
always
have.
impressed,
Yeah.
with the number of
I know my
people.
wife,
Yeah.
Michelle, donated a couple years ago. And
Uh-huh.
she said it just is a good feeling.
Yeah.
That you're helping out
Right.
other people. And I think they are in need of blood,
Well, the other thing too is, and I didn't know all this until, remember last year Chris came on with us,
Mm-hmm.
and he was the Red Cross representative, and he was a wonderful. And he said, for each pint of blood that you give, could help 3 people. So I think last year we had like 120 pints,
Mm-hmm.
and so you figure, if you figure 3 people, I'm not real good at that, but it's over 300.
Yeah,
Uh,
360.
You know, and for just that little bit that you go in,
Is Chris still with them?
no, he left. He's with the Heart Association now,
Oh.
and we have a new person, but he's very, very busy too, so we haven't seen him so much.
Right, right. I know I was going to have Chris back on the show, and then I kind of lost track. I even probably lost the phone number, but he was a very engaging young man.
He was. We loved Chris.
Yeah.
In fact, he just sent us, you know, he'd only worked with us 1 year, and he sent us a email saying that he was thinking of us at this time. I don't know how he remembered.
Really?
Yeah, just a really, and, you know, a thumbs up, and he knows that, you know, we're going to carry on in Katie's name.
Sure.
So.
It's a great cause. It really
I have
is.
to tell you, though, about what Keith's doing.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this is unique.
Do you want me to tell?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when we started talking with the American Red Cross about the blood drive, I said, well, they should have someone directing people in. And I said it'd be nice if they had a costume or something to direct the people in for the blood drive. And the representative from the Red Cross says, well, we do. We have a mascot. And I kind of was like, well, what is that? And he told me it's a blood drop, and his name is Buddy. So we have Buddy the blood drop
No.
costume, and if all goes well, I will be in there in the costume waving at the community to bring you in to
Is that right?
Yeah, I'll be up at the corner.
I've never heard of such
Isn't
a
he a good sport?
Yeah.
Well, when they said they had a costume, were you thinking, oh no, now I'm stuck? I mean,
No, I've done it before.
Oh,
I worked
oh.
at Old Country Buffet, and I was the Old Country Buffet B one time. So
oh, okay, so you're experienced at this then. Gosh.
This
okay.
much.
That's the one neat thing about Keith. He's so willing, and he's just going to
If we
take
can-
our church to
I
new
figured
level,
it would be
yeah.
more, more advertising, and
It
people
is.
would
It
remember it. One other note we wanted to make about the blood drive. I guess last year there was a lot of waiting. The Red Cross representative did assure us that they would be set up. They had
Well, they had a computer
a
glitch.
computer glitch
Right,
last year, so
right.
they're actually gonna try to come earlier and make sure they're up and running. The computers are running,
that's
so
cool, yeah.
there should not be a lot of wait this time.
Okay.
They took notes last year, but yeah, it was a computer glitch last year, so we hope to be fully functioning and up to.
You talk about the mascot guy, that kind of makes me laugh, because do you remember a couple weeks ago they had these little people dressed up like the Statue of Liberty at the tax
Oh,
place?
Oh,
Yes.
they're out there all the time. Liberty
Yeah,
tax.
waving
Liberty
yeah.
tax.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because my wife gets annoyed with for some reason.
She does?
She said, because I wave at him once, and then she goes, I got to keep waving at him when I drive up. And I said, just wave, have a good time with it. I go,
ignore
but it
him,
draws attention.
It does. It does.
So this will be something that
I hope that
Yeah.
it, people remember and
Yeah.
pull
So are you
them.
going to be out there for all 6 hours, 9 a.m. to 3?
I'm gonna be out there for a few
And
hours
you
for
said
sure.
you're going to be on State Street, right?
I'll be over
So
at.
do you get to go over to the Pizza Hut and get lunch or something?
Yeah, we'll
or?
treat him.
Oh, okay, okay. All
I'll
right.
stay out there. Hopefully, it's a great
Oh, I hope
day
it's
and
not raining or anything.
raining or cold.
Snow, you can stand out in snow, but rain is
Right. So
we'll pray for good weather.
if not, I'll be down at the community center waving people in.
Now, where are you saying he's going to be at?
You said on State
Stayed
Street.
in,
I'm sorry,
stayed
State
in 20.
Yep, I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Oh,
be
that
right
is 20.
right up at
Can you
Stayed
tell me
in
where the
the-
Pizza Hut's at? Oh, it's
Oh,
down.
no, it's across the street.
right at 7 and 20 there.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
it's
True
right
North
there.
Pizza Hut, the Baptist Church, and
That's
CVS.
right, it's right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
I'm gonna be on that corner or one of those corners. So
This could be interesting. I have to check this
So,
out.
so did you select the corner, or did you just think?
I'm just
that
gonna
was- you're
pick
just-
one.
You're just gonna pick one and wave. Okay. Are you
whichever
gonna have
one-
a big sign that
If-
says Katie
if the-
Whitman Blood
I
Drive
hope
this
to.
way?
I hope to. Yeah, they said that they would have a sign out, and then, I mean, how would you?
Maybe you could put
How would
You'll
you
give blood for.
How would you miss a big blood drop standing
Yeah,
out there
I
waving
know.
at you?
Yeah.
What the heck?
My daughter told me to remind everybody too that if you have never given blood before, it's a pretty smooth process. You're not in there a whole long time, probably an hour, but from the time you walk in the door to when you have your orange juice and so on. But she said to hydrate yourself because you're giving all that liquid, and the more you hydrate yourself, the more you'll be prepared, and also to have a good breakfast. That helps. And she also told us, didn't she, Martha, to keep this arm warm, because if your arm's warm, it's easier to draw the blood. But if you have any questions, please feel free to call us right now, and we will try to answer it. Another thing is if you've been to another country in the last 6 months, but I've only been to Orlando, so that's about
That's about like I need.
And then also, there's online, they have the medication list. If
Right.
you're taking certain medications, you may not be eligible to give, so please go online and check the list of medications that.
What's this about it being out of country? You cannot give
There's just certain countries. It's
because you could be bringing something. in.
right.
Right.
And
I think
I
that
went
was-
online this morning because I wasn't sure exactly. I wanted to make sure there are, things I wanted to tell. But if you just go on Red Cross Blood Drive, it'll answer all your questions. It talks about medications. It talks about the country, about how long, how often you can give blood.
Let's take this call, Joyce. Hi, you're on the air.
Good morning. How's everybody doing today?
We're doing well. How are
Good.
you?
Good. This is Gail Sharkey. I wanted to say hi to my fellow folks there on TV.
Hi,
Good
Gail.
morning,
Hi.
Gail.
How are you guys doing?
Wonderful.
We'd do better if you were here, Gail.
Yeah, I know. I've heard that, but you'll never see me in that chair, sister.
Gail
Hey,
is...
I had a question for you today.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, that little buddy blood drop, Keith, do you know if that comes with a hood or a mask of some sort?
I don't know. I'm assuming it has a face cutout, and maybe, yeah, I'm sure it's got something over my head, but
So you've
You'll-
never tried it on or anything?
It's
You have
a-
no
I'm
idea.
kind
I
of
understand.
thinking, Keith, that
go ahead, Gail.
maybe like if you have volunteered to do some of that, I'm kind of thinking now that's something I could be up for. Give me a mask and put me on the corner, and I could draw a lot of attention.
I don't know that there's a mask. I understand.
Oh.
I understand the suit has arrived at the church, though.
Oh.
Oh boy. You might want to try that on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna
Yeah.
check. We're gonna try the suit on. Maybe I'll go over this afternoon and try it on.
He's a good sport.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I really think seriously, I think that could be a lot of fun, so sign me up for a couple hours.
All right.
Wow.
There you go.
There. That's
All right.
good.
That sounds good.
All
Thank
right.
you, Gail.
Hey, you guys have a great day.
You too, hon.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Pat, after
Yeah.
church yesterday, we had announced it in church, and we had Janet Thompson Smith came up with a good idea about having a picnic, because we were all kind of so down in the dumps about winter and snow and everything. So we had a church picnic after church, and Tom did the grilling. He's such a good
He's a good
sport.
griller,
Yeah.
too.
hot
But
dogs
one
and
of the
hamburgers.
one of the people I was sitting with, there's another call,
You go ahead.
said, "Why are we doing a blood drive? Who's Katie Whitman anyway?"
Right.
Oh, boy.
And I know this person is just kind of a tormentor of mine in good fun. But why shouldn't a church do that?
Right.
We don't just go to church and sit there and go home. We should be people that are out doing God's work. And one thing we can do to help other people, we're blessed to be a blessing. God has no hands on earth, no mouth on earth except ours. And we are Christians in action. And if you are a person who wants to help other people, whether you're a Christian or you're not. Come out and give us a hand.
Now, you had some things you wanted to read, or I want you to read.
Yeah, before we do anything, we wanted to show you, I don't know if we can get that, but this is a picture of Katie. And you could see just what a very, very beautiful, both inside and out,
Beautiful smile.
how wonderful a gal she was. And she came to my schools when I was principal, so I have a special attachment to her. But think about losing somebody like that. You remember her from Golden Dawn, Pat? I guess that the people just love to go on Golden Dawn and talk to Katie. But her cousin Sheriff Parkamaki started this in Katie's memory 12 years ago. And they thought that would be a wonderful way for the community to remember her. But it's a pretty emotional thing for her mother and her family and her father. And so they decided that maybe this was going to be the end. And my son Paul works with Jean, and he said, if you would allow us, if you would entrust us with that memory, we're called the Friends of Katie Whitman. So we'd like you to be a friend. You know, I was telling Martha on her show that we're so easy to cut Conneaut down. Conneaut is a great place. Conneaut is full of great people. And when you walk in there and see all those people waiting to give blood, you know that that's true. So I want to thank you, Pat, and you, Martha, for allowing us. You couldn't have two better people to sit in between as these two. They're such positive influence in our town.
That's so sweet. We appreciate
Thank
that,
you.
Joycey. Hi, you're on the air. Oh,
Oh,
call back.
lost him.
Call back.
Call back. I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, please give us a call back. We'll take that phone call right now. Now, before I let you go, there was some background that you wanted to. There we go. You're on the air.
This is Gail again, but I wanted to mention that I'm going to be taking those flyers around all the businesses, banks, places like that. They'll be out today, so please notice them. Exactly, hold that up, please. And if there's anybody out there that would like a flyer on their business or would like to take them someplace, please give the church a call. Let us know. We can get you more flyers. But be watching the entrances and exits because they're going to be in businesses today. Thanks.
Thanks, Gail.
Thank you.
I'll turn it back to you.
Okay. Gil Castrilla, who's on our committee, and another real positive influence in our town, wrote a note, and I don't want to read it, but I just want to cover some things. She wrote, Katie touched many lives in her short number of years with us. She made her mark in her loving family, at CLYO, in the Conneaut schools, in Wildfire, in Golden Dawn, in Right Track, at Edinburgh State University. She also was a student at Kent Ashtabula, and in many more places in many organizations. She was loved by all who knew her, and she showered her love on all of them. She was beautiful, generous, wise, and kind. And she had the accident, and her family chose to do this. But we also want you to know, why do this in memory of Katie? In the 12 years since she's been gone, many, many pints of blood have been given. But we also challenge you to, if somebody in your life has gone on and is home with the Lord, you want to do it in memory of them. Come in and give blood in their memory, and we'll certainly post it too. Because every life is important, and that's why we want to help by giving blood to people who need it in their life.
Very good, very good. Obviously a very well worthwhile event, and I'm so glad that they have continued on with it. Pastor, anything you want to say?
Just one thought that we had. Christ has no body now here on earth but yours. No hands but yours. No feet but yours. Yours are the eyes through which to look out. Christ's compassion to the world. Yours are the feet with which he is to go about doing good. Yours are the hands with which he is to bless men now. So let's do our part. You can walk on water in someone's life. It's just a small thing, but it outreaches so much. So like Pastor Joyce said, the Conneaut community, it's just a beautiful community, and this is something we can do to give back.
Again, this is going to happen on March 21st. It's from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And if you're driving down Route 7, you get to see this guy.
7 and 20.
It's 7 and 20.
And last year we received 115 pints of blood, and so we'd like to go beyond that. We'd like to do 120. So if you can possibly help us, we'll certainly appreciate it.
Excellent. I wish you luck.
Thank you.
Wish
Thank you.
luck. And certainly if you can
God
help
bless
out.
both of you for letting us come on.
Thank you so much. And if you can help out with this in the name of Katie, our buddy Katie, please do.